Dear all, I'm Ragnhild Katteland, Head of Subsea and Land Systems Business Group in Nexans. What we are doing in this business group is really at the heart of Nexans' purpose to electrify the future. It is the major stake for the coming decade. Our core business is both interconnectors facilitating the exchange of renewable energy between and within countries and continents, as well as cable solution for offshore wind farms. Remember the value chain that was shown earlier? Generation and transmission, distribution and usages. Now we are at the very beginning, and our journey begins with generation and transmission. We do everything from front-end engineering, design, manufacturing, installation and protection. And when generation is running, we provide our clients aftermarket services for the high voltage generation and transmission cable solutions. Our clients are offshore wind developers, national transmission system owners, grid owners, and more infrastructure investors. There is no longer any doubt the world needs to address climate change, and renewable energies are a keystone of the sustainable energy transition. What we see in the offshore wind market is an incredible annual growth. We are talking about 200 gigawatts to be installed worldwide in the next decade. While Europe will remain the main market, Asia and US are to follow closely. We are talking about an 11.5% annual growth of our cable and installation market, reaching 8 billion annual market size in 2030. We at Nexans are already very well positioned and engaged in this booming market. We are currently working on a wind farm of up to 1.5 gigawatt, the Seagreen offshore wind farm outside Scotland, for our client SSE. This unique offshore wind farm will supply more than 600,000 Scottish households with clean energy alone. One of the main drivers for this growth is the reduction of levelized cost of energy. The cost has been divided by more than 5 times in the last 10 years. Offshore wind is now increasingly profitable compared to other renewable technologies. Our industry will be the major enabler of the sustainable energy transition needed to achieve Paris Agreement goals. The offshore wind farm cannot, by nature, always be placed close to the consumption areas. This is why we are linking renewable energy sources to every electricity grid by installing energy highways. The interconnector market, subsea and land high voltage corridors, will have an annual growth of 14.3%. We are talking about more than 70,000 kilometers of cables to be installed. In the US, we expect investments of more than 25 billion euros in HVDC corridors to integrate its grid and allow higher penetration of renewable sources. Nexans has a unique high voltage cable facility based in the US in Charleston, South Carolina. Nexans is the only local supplier able to answer to the future US sustainable energy needs. The interconnected cables play an important part in EU's ambition of an efficient and sustainable renewable grid. The interconnected cables will secure supply of energy between countries and connect renewable generation sources to the consumption areas. Nexans is a key enabler of EU's ambition of carbon neutrality by 2050. In the early 70s, we installed the first interconnecting cable between Norway and Denmark. Our Halden subsea plant was built for this purpose only. Today, we have installed several thousands of high voltage subsea interconnected cables around the world. Currently, we are installing the North Sea Link interconnector between Norway and UK, and as well the interconnection between Mindanao and Visayas in the Philippines. With this increasing amount of renewable energy sources to be connected, the energy highways will increase in size, power, and distance. So how will Nexans capture the strong growth of this sector? How will Nexans lead the energy transition? How will we support our clients? In 2021, our Charleston high-voltage cable plant in the US will be fully converted to a subsea high-voltage cable plant, the only one in the US, perfectly placed to support the offshore wind development and the sustainable energy transition in US. We will support US clients' growing renewable energy needs. We already own one purpose-built cable laying vessel, Nexans Skagerrak. As our market is growing in volume and complexity, we must bring our capabilities and capacities one step further. This summer, we are excited and looking forward to taking delivery of our new cable laying vessel, Nexans Aurora. This unique lady is equipped with a 10,000 tons dual turntable and high-tech cable installation equipment. With these two investments, we are doubling our manufacturing capacity. We have enlarged our laying capacities and capabilities, enabling us to take on board the most complex and challenging projects ahead. We are already utilizing these new capacities for the Seagreen project this year. However, this is not enough. We have decided to scale up even further to support electrification through our trusted partners and clients. I'm very proud to announce that we will increase our capacity further by more than 30% by 2024. 2 new extrusion lines will be installed in our Halden plant in Norway, in addition to further upgrade of our Charleston plant in the US. These new investments will increase our capacity and efficiency in response to the expected growth in HVDC, both for offshore wind farm and for the energy highways to come. And we have the possibility to even further raise capacity quickly in our Charleston plant at customer need. We do not only invest in capacity and capability, we continuously invest in our skills. In the past years, Nexans has used a purpose-built in-house program called SHIFT to reshape its backlog, decrease risk, while increase asset yield and generate value. This has been a true success in all areas implemented. We are now amplifying this unique model by deploying it in for our project business, bringing our portfolio's risk and return equation one step further. Firstly, for each project, we are modeling the overall risk by combining the technical risk with historical data and knowledge, and with in-depth reviews of project's terms and conditions. Secondly, we optimize the asset yield both in manufacturing and in installation to best fit our assets and capabilities. By combining project risk and yield and by adding the financial return, we have an accurate risk and return indicator for each project. This indicator is being used to steer the portfolio to the targeted upper right corner, lowest risk with the highest return. In a nutshell, a healthy backlog for our future that will not jeopardize the company development, neither our customers' projects. The key to success for any project is how it is managed, and most importantly, how all the risks related are managed. Cables remain the main driver of project claims and account for more than 80% of claimed values in offshore wind farm projects. The growing size of wind farms make the risk more and more material for insurers. Our EPCI end-to-end approach combines analytics of historical data and proactive engineering and assessments with our experience of risk and project execution. We have a very sound risk management track record. We have experienced no internal failures of our export cables neither for offshore wind nor subsea cables for interconnectors. We are also assessing the environmental impact to reduce our carbon footprint. Increasing complexity for the project requires in-depth knowledge and expertise. And I'm happy to announce that today we have entered into a long-term partnership with Bureau Veritas. Together, we will certify the Nexans way of managing EPCI projects and risks, develop new standards for the offshore wind farm and interconnection industry, reduce risk profile of such projects, and reduce Nexans' time to market. Energy supply is more and more dependent on offshore wind farms, generating power and the interconnectors' energy highways. It is imperative that there are business continuity plans to secure the energy supply. If a cable fault occurs, like the one on the picture here, where there has been an anchor grabbing the cable on the seabed, if no preparations, no planning are in place, it can take up to a year to repair the cable link and put it back into operation. With a Nexans service contract, the downtime or energy loss can be reduced by 70%. We are talking about massive savings. Our solutions enables to anticipate risk through monitoring and maintenance, to build up sound mitigation plans and to intervene rapidly if an emergency occurs. Improving technology to support our clients and to broaden the scope of their possibilities is part of our DNA. We have today cutting-edge technology, both for the cable material choices, long distances, deep water, and dynamic application. Back in the 70s, we delivered the first interconnected cable between Denmark and Norway. In 2018, we completed the interconnector between Italy and Montenegro, installed at 1,500 meters water depth. We have fully qualified 525 kV DC extruded subsea and land cable systems. We delivered the first high voltage cable, dynamic cable, for the first commercial floating offshore wind farm, Hywind, in 2017. And this after a successful Hywind demo completed in 2009. To amplify our technical leadership, we invest massive efforts in R&D. The power transfer will increase. The interconnector Eurasia will be installed down to 3,000 meters water depth. To enable the offshore wind also where the water depth is not allowing for conventional offshore turbines, floating offshore wind farms will be needed, and with this, more dynamic cables. Our proprietary solution for thermoplastic cables, Power Boost, will amplify the cleaner, more cost-efficient and faster cable manufacturing. By using our in-house technical experts and know-how and working closely with universities and clients, we are broadening the scope of possibilities for our clients, both for offshore wind and for interconnectors, making us a proud contributor of the sustainable energy transition.